Today we're talking to senior outside hitter for the Husky volleyball team, Courtney Schwan. Pac-12 Player of the Year, first team All-American. Safe to say it was a successful year for you, Courtney, but I want to know, what was the feeling, what were the first thoughts that came through your mind when you got those awards?
The first thoughts that were going through my mind was kind of like disbelief. Like, I was really excited and happy about it, but that's not something that you kind of work towards. You don't work towards the accolades. You work towards improvement and that kind of stuff, and the accolades will come if all goes well. But yeah.
And where were you when you found out about those awards?
So when I found out I was Pac-12 Player of the Year, I was actually in the locker room, and my phone started blowing up, and I just heard it buzzing, and I was like, what's happening? And it was like my mom, my grandma, my dad, my coach who was upstairs, and I thought something was wrong, but it turns out I was the Pac-12 Player of the Year, and I was just super happy, super excited. My teammates were all congratulating me, and no, it was a great time.
And then the All-American Award, what was going on at that time?
Yeah, that was really funny. We had no idea. Our head coach was actually out of town. So my assistant coach looked at me and he was like, we got some news for you. I need you to call the head coach right now. So I call the head coach, all nervous, like kind of freaking out a little bit. And he goes, did you get everything turned in for school? Like, we were done with school by this time. And he's like, is there something you need to tell me? And I was like, yeah, exactly. That's the look I gave. And I was like, I don't think so. Like, I thought I got everything turned in, thought everything was going good. He was like, I'm just kidding. You're an All-American. And I was like, what? I kind of like started freaking out. And I just, again, was in disbelief. Like, that wasn't something that I was working towards, but it just improvement, so.
Yeah, talk about good news.
Yeah.
And is there something that you can point to, or maybe a few things you can point to that you can say, you know, I really improved with this from my freshman year to my senior year to where you are now, all the success you're getting now? What kind of can you point to and say that you can kind of credit to that?
I'd say definitely the mental game. I think that's the hardest part of the game. I think that's the hardest part of the game for a lot of games, but this game in particular. Technically, I got a lot more sound on my blocking, I would say. And then passing and serving is top keys in volleyball. So those type of things, definitely.
And you guys have a young team coming back, the postseason now. What's your main focus? What are you guys trying to work to improve for next year?
Yeah, we're working on all the little things. We're trying to do simple better. Do simple better. It's just all we're working on. Our little movements, footwork patterns, serve, receive. Just do simple better. So, yeah.
A lot of people don't know a lot about the beach season. So it's relatively new for the Pac-12, second year of their championship tournament, and a roster that you're on. We see a lot of familiar faces on that roster, but we see some new faces too, and then we also don't see certain players on the beach roster. Can you kind of explain how that team is created and what kind of the style is it here at UW?
Yeah, so for us, we took all of our indoor players and we gave them the option to play outdoors, which is a great opportunity. Beach is so great. You get so many touches on the ball. You have to touch the ball basically every play. So you get so many touches on the ball, you get so much better. It wasn't the biggest deal in Washington to begin with. It was more of a California thing. At least on the West Coast. And there weren't many players who would just come and play just outdoor. But there were some students here who had played volleyball and had played beach volleyball, and when they found out that we had a beach team, or we were creating one, they reached out to our coaches, and they had a little tryout, and they made the team, and it's great, and they're some of the best people that I've ever met, and it's super exciting to get to work with them, the people who are not indoor but also outdoor. So that's great, yeah.
And there's really no off-season for you then. I mean, it's kind of, volleyball is a really repetition-heavy sport. How do you get time to rest those pesky injuries that happen throughout the season?
For me, it's like every day. You get into the training room early. Funny because in about 10 minutes I'm going to go get some work in the training room. Yeah, getting in there every day, making sure that you're on top of those things. Our coach even said, it was really funny, one of the very first days of practice, he goes, okay, so your God is here, your coach, your family's here, and then he was like, Jen is here. Jen's our trainer. And she goes, Jen's next, okay? And then it's like listed off the rest of the things, but he's like, God, family, Jen. And he's like, so Jen's very high on our priority list.
Yeah, he's got your priorities right. And I hear, rumor has it, that you're looking to go into photography, videography. But until then, like, is there any plan to like do the Misty May Trainer, Carrie Walsh Jennings with Cassie Strickland, your old teammate?
Yeah, so I would love to do beach volleyball, but I think that I'm going to go indoor, hopefully. I'll go pro indoor, yeah.
And so, like, any ideas for, like, USA Volleyball, the full 6-on-6?
Yes, definitely. I actually just recently found out that I made the European Collegiate National Team, so I'll be doing the European Tour this summer, which is going to be super exciting. I'm very thankful and very excited about that opportunity. And then eventually I'll go to the USA tryout again this next summer, and we'll see what happens, but it's definitely something I'm working towards.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and appreciate you answering these questions, and good luck with the future endeavors. Maybe you can get a break sometime in the near future.
Yes. Thank you for having me.